Welcome, Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com with another companion podcast like we always do for a wine we wrote up on the CheapWineFinder.com website. Have been doing so for a long time. Still going strong. This is from Costco. Crook Cellars. Field Blend, I'll explain that is, from Lodi. 2018. I'll explain why 2018 is important. And there you go. This is a wine that I think sells for under $12 at Costco. And I've seen it for as cheap as $5 and $6 there for some reason. I don't know why they have sales on that, but they do. So this is a wine that is inexpensive, but in places where Costco can't sell wine, like New York State, you can't sell wine at a grocery store or that type of thing. It has to be a retail wine shop, and there's other places. This is a wine that sells for $20. So you're getting a bargain, and that's their whole thing. They Thomas Allen Wine Estates makes this wine, and their motto is we want to make a wine that holds up to wines costing twice as much. So price-wise, it kind of does. Thomas Allen Wine Estates makes 1 million cases a year for other people, other nationally known wine brands. You've had their wines and didn't know you had them, because 1 million cases a year, and they said over 1 million, that's 12 million bottles of wine a year. The odds of you having one of their wines at some point is pretty good. I'm going to take a sip of this. It's from Lodi. Lodi, if you're looking for value-priced wine and the best value-priced wines you can find, Lodi is a great place. It's in the Central Valley. It's not in the Central Coast. It's not in the North Coast. It's in a river delta off the San Pablo Bay. It's east of Napa, south and east of Napa. It's in an area that can get pretty hot, but in the valley, it stays cool enough for grapes. But if you like the type of grapes they grow, which are tending to be warm weather grapes, Chardonnay goes both ways. It can be cool, it can be warm. You don't get a lot of Pinot Noir out of there, but Zinfandels and Cabernet Sauvignons, I think Sangiovese, that kind of thing, they do great with that. So if you're looking for value-priced wines and want to get bang for the buck, Lodi is a place to look. Not that the other places are not good, Washington State and Sonoma, Monterey, Mendocino. Yeah, they're all great places, but keep a lookout for Lodi. A field blend. What the heck is a field blend? It's an old school way of making wine. They plant the different grapes in one section of the vineyard all together. Just all together. In the old school way, they didn't even know what half the grapes were. But usually it's Zinfandel and Petit Syrah. I think here they also have Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. And when they try to figure out when is the most perfect time to pick all the grapes, because not every grape ripens at the same time, every grape varietal. There's different things going on. So they try to pick at the right time for all the grapes. They pick them at once. They crush them. They ferment them all at once. The blending is done by Mother Nature in the vineyard. The winemaker doesn't do it. They put everything together. And I was reading up on it, and one of the things that's different about it, that all these different grapes have different tannin structures and different chemical components in there, and you put them all together and crush them, it changes everything to where the fermentation process reacts differently than if they were just a single type of grape. Because most blends, you'll read if it's Cabernet Sauvignon, they ferment that separately. The Merlot, they ferment separately. Everything separately, then they blend them at the end. No, that's how a field blend does. Now, in the tasting notes of this, or technical notes, they say they blended it on before they aged it for 10 months. It's like, oh, wait a minute, you can't blend it if it's already blended. But the other technical notes for every other red wine they had said kind of the same thing. So I don't know if just the technical notes were somebody didn't know what they were talking about and just wrote the wrong thing down, or this is actually a field blend. but that makes me wonder a little bit. Take another sip. This is a good, tasty little wine. Cabernet Sauvignon Zinfandel Merlot. Petit Syrah is not your typical red blend. It's a little bit different. So it tastes different, and it's got a richness to it. This is a 2018. A wine from 2018 means it's been aging, trying to find its balance for a fairly long time. You know, most inexpensive $10 wines, it would be, this is 2022, you're going to start seeing 2020, 2021. You know, it's 6 months in oak. They do the production techniques that don't extract the tannins as much, and it's a bright, fruit-forward wine, a little bit of oak flavor, not too much. It's a very popular style. But like a 2018 wine means they did all the extraction. They did all the oak. They might have used a lot of new oak, because when you have all these strong influences, they have to balance out before you can sell it. It has to all come together and all be kind of seamless and put together. And that's what we got here. So you got it. This is not made like a typical, if it's $11.99 or $10.99 or whatever it was at Costco. It's not made that way. And if it is actually a field blend, and it says so, but the tasty notes they're kind of sparse. They don't say much, because it should be a single vineyard wine. If it's a field blend's from one little section of one little vineyard, and they don't say that, you know, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. And plus, this is a Costco wine. They're not spending all their money on that type of thing, because that's what the point of it. Got to save your money somewhere. So yeah, is this a good wine? Yeah, it is really a good wine. Should you try it? Yeah, there's a whole. They have a Zinfandel, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, the whole big thing. Yeah, I think they're worth trying out. They're pretty good. And if you got a friend who's got a Costco card, you do, check it out next time you're there. It's worth the effort. So that's it for me, Domain Dave. CheapWinefinder.com. More things going on. I think we got a blind Chardonnay tastings coming up, and we'll have more. So keep it cheap, stay safe, stay warm, and I'll be talking to everybody. Adios. Bye-bye.